Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bitch Bible Podcast. You might notice if you're watching the video, she's got a really springy blow dry. I just got back from the salon. What did I do this morning? I went in my negative, not mine, but I am claiming ownership over it because it is my whole personality. I have been going once or twice a week into this magnesium box, a glass box, okay? I believe it's called bioresonance. I'm going to butcher that till the end of time. I've been doing this, like these red light therapy and PEMF, and I go into this like weird glass box and I breathe in all of these minerals and negative ions and magnesium, and I do kind of feel amazing afterwards. So I did that this morning. Then I hopped on over to get my hair done. It is day one, so it is a bit John Bonet, but by day two, it really starts to settle and give like a Frenchy bend, but a lot was going down at the hair salon. Okay. So I had to jump on. I just wanted to jump on here really quick. Don't you love when a bitch says that? I just wanted to jump on here really quick. It's like, no, you set up the tripod, your ring lights are on. You're hitting us with a fresh lip. Like, you can't say that when you're on the internet 700 times a day. And I saw something that really stuck with me this morning that says we need less content creators and we need more content destroyers. Okay. And if I can sign on to the latter, please, please, please. We're going to get into that because there is a piece of art on the internet that I really need everybody to consume. I don't know how I can finance this short film, aka Melissa Wood-Tepperberg's most recent reel, because it needs to go to Cannes. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It needs to go to Sundance. It needs to go to Venice Film Festival. We got to take it everywhere. I'm taking it out on the road because it is a masterpiece. It is so layered. We're going to deep dive that later because I need to recalibrate. But as I was getting my hair done, everybody's phones were sparking. Okay. They were steaming and sparking because of all of this Taylor. I can't get this name right. I can't get this name right to save my life. In my defense, I've never seen Secret Lives of Mormon Wives because I don't do TLC. I'm not a TLC person. I want to see attractive people in beautiful homes doing luxurious things. Okay. I don't want to see bad highlights with backless bar stools, floating shelves, pompous grass, and like in undesirable locations. No offense. That's just me. I don't want to watch the 700-pound sisters. I don't want to watch Sister Wives. I don't like Love is Blind. No, was it Love is Blind or what is it? 90 Day Fiance. It makes me upset. Not of the times to say. I don't want to see unattractive people in unattractive places. I just don't. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. Everybody at the hair place was like, oh my God, did you see what I believe her name is, I keep getting her messed up with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and I'm not really sure why. I was calling her Taylor Jonathan Thomas. Is it Taylor Jacqueline? Click it in. We got to land this plane. Is it Taylor? The Taylor throws me off. Taylor Hanson. Taylor. There's too many Taylors. Taylor Paul Anderson. No, that's the Oscars are fresh on the mind. Taylor Paul Thomas. Is that it? Hold on. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to. Taylor Frankie Paul. I mean, of course. What a terrible name. That is like a trifecta of first names. That is the caucasity, really. So Taylor Frankie Paul. I'm going to get that right. This video came out, which is appalling, quite frankly. And Elle Woods has just clocked in. TMZ, I would like to personally bring down TMZ. The fact that they are so nonchalant with the sensitivity and the disgust of the materials that they put on the internet, that children are able to like just jump on the internet and consume so easily. The fact that there is no filtration system or warning or like laws in place that make it prohibited to post these graphic videos for internet fodder makes me sick. I first felt this way when TMZ was posting all of these videos concerning Liam Payne's passing, which, I mean, they were showing videos that were so graphic, so unnecessary, so violating to friends and family. And I just found that to be so disgusting. The way that it's presented to us as consumers is so disgusting. And our like desensitization, is that a word? I don't know, to these materials that we see so frequently is just unacceptable to me. So at some point in time, we're going to Washington. Okay. We're going to get Camelbacks. We're going to get Power Blazers and Camelbacks filled with martinis. And we're going to march to the Senate, to Congress. Okay. With wispy blow dries. What was I saying? Taylor Frankie Thomas, Taylor Frankie Paul. We've nailed it. So the salon was ablaze because this video came out of her, physically assaulting her then husband. I've done a little bit of intel on the situation. I was asking the receptionist, who is very, very invested in the secret lives of Mormon wives and the Bachelorette, et cetera, et cetera. And I have not seen, oh my God, I have some beans on my face from my Fiesta burrito from Sharky's. Side note about Sharky's Mexican grill, wood-fired Mexican grill. I'm not sure if that's like the exact tagline. If you live in Southern California and you've dabbled in Sharky's, I really love Sharky's. I think that they offer a beautiful selection of high-quality ingredients, Mexican fare, including like a Wagyu tostada. But I have a couple notes. Sharky's corporate, write this down. First of all, your grass-fed beef option is way too salty. It ruins and destroys a burrito, okay? And as someone who loves a grass-fed steak option, I think that you're over-seasoning. Secondly, Sharky's. Why do we no longer offer a pico de gallo at the salsa bar? It's insane. Like, how can you walk in and not get a pico de gallo? They don't have pico de gallo. I don't get it. What about an amuse-bouche while you're waiting for your Fiesta burrito? Sometimes I will just eat the pico de gallo plain with a fork as a snack. Thirdly, they do offer caffeine-free Diet Coke on drip. So for that, we say thank you, Sharky's. And they also do have a nice beer and wine selection. I also find it interesting that they offer iced green tea. It's a bit of a fusion, and I like it. Do I also like the Sharky's Mexican barbecue chicken pizza? Yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite nice. You can get things keto. So instead of a tortilla, you can get like a crispy cheese wrap, which I also find to be quite interesting. But the beef is too salty, and the pico de gallo is absent. And for that, we will also go to Congress. Now back to Taylor Frankie Paul. So the receptionist at my hair salon was telling me that, just back history, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Taylor Frankie Paul's husband, who she is assaulting in this video that broke the internet, is a bit of a douchebag. Okay, so we're making the caveats. I'm not justifying anything, by the way. I'm just giving it to you straight, right up the butt. This is just a woman uninformed reporting the news. Okay, and it's not a laughing matter. It's quite disgusting. So unless you're living under a rock, basically, this video is of Taylor Frankie Paul and her then husband, now ex-husband, and their child, and she is beating the shit out of him. Backstory is that this dude is a piece of shit, cheated on her, gaslit her, fucked her friends. They have an extremely toxic relationship, hence why they broke up, and now she was named the new Bachelorette. Even more interesting is that ABC knew about this assault charge before they hired her as the Bachelorette. I would imagine, not to break the fourth wall, but as someone who is kind of well-versed in industry standards, there's this thing called, I know it well, baby, a morality clause. A morality clause basically states that if you do anything that is below board or tarnishes the franchise or the show, that you are then liable for damage costs, basically. Okay. And they're able to fire you and hold you liable, this, that, the other thing. My lawyer friend is definitely listening to this at home being like, you stupid bitch, please stop. Please stop talking about legal jargon. That's completely incorrect. But she definitely has some form of a morality clause in play in some capacity, allegedly. Okay. So the fact that they hired her knowing that she was, charged with physical or domestic violence, this, that, the other thing, is odd. Okay. So this video comes out, and as a woman who hath snapped prior, okay, a bitch just snaps sometimes. And that's not what's happening in this video. Like your peak menstrual cycle and, your husband comes in and tells you to calm down and you lose your shit. It's happened to the best of us. This is not a snapping situation. This is like a long marathon of like controlled assault. And what's interesting is that if anyone tossed me a pic of Frankie Paul Thomas, aka Taylor Frankie Paul, and I saw the severity of those brows, I would have been able to tell you all of this, okay? Because she has a deceitful eyebrow. I am a professor in eyebrow analysis. You got too skinny of an eyebrow, you've got problems. You have a misshapen, bold eyebrow, we also have problems. I love a full brow, okay? It's got structure, it frames the face, it's timeless. But those brows and that hair color and those really, the bar stools are something that we need to focus on. The bar stool, not one, not two, but 3 bar stools that she hurls at her then husband. I could have told you everything. If there's ever a reason for white women at home to get rid of those fucking bar stools, those rustic, modern, farmhouse, backless metal stools that you have the audacity, and just in case you're stupid people on TikTok, audacity, I'm intentionally mispronouncing. That's a Ramona Singer reference. You think I don't know the difference between audacity and audacity? I sure as fuck do. Don't make me destroy you in the comments. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to just relax now for a second. The audacity of those bar stools is a whole separate conversation. So women at home, it's time to part with the metal bar stool. But they're stackable. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. Okay. So is this video. Disgusting. What's interesting about this video is her daughter is present, which is just so disturbing on so many levels. I can't imagine a scenario. I can't imagine any scenario where I would do that in front of my son. I don't care. Unless someone was breaking and entering in my home and they were a physical threat to me and I was trying to like intercept a robbery or a kidnapping, like that's the only time I would attack somebody in front of my child, okay? Because the damage that does, the lack of stability, the trauma is so insane to me. And honestly, just the length of the attack is so insane to me because this is not someone who just snapped. This is someone who is actively like assaulting their husband in front of their child, okay? And I'm sure he's a piece of shit too. They're both pieces of shit for allowing that to happen because him getting out the phone instead of protecting his daughter and getting her in a car. There's so many layers. They're both at fault as far as I'm concerned. However, what she does so casually in front of her child, who I believe also gets struck in the midst of this fight, okay? It's just all so disturbing, and it just goes on and on and on. Sometimes you just lose your shit. This is not a losing your shit situation. This is it's like a controlled attack that keeps going and going and going, and it's just absolutely disgusting. So this allegedly happened in 2023. It's now 2026. That means that this man has sat on this video for 3 years. The fact that she even knew this video existed and signed up to do The Bachelorette, is posting videos on TikTok like, look what you made me do. Haters gonna hate. Like, knowing that this took place is what I can only diagnose. We got to workshop a title with the word diagnosis in it because it's a theme here. I think she's there's like some mental health issues going on, because it's very vacant of any like accountability. It's sociopathic. It's very weird. It's weird how she's handled the aftermath on the internet and her presence and the persona and like the content and kind of the like eye roll of it all when something like that even happens once. You know what I mean? I don't like it. So then at the hair salon, I mean, the hits just kept coming. Then ABC cancels The Bachelorette, and I'm sure she's going to have some financial liability because that show is not cheap to film. Think about all the marketing assets, like all of it. And it's so crazy because I can't believe at this point, like, we haven't learned our lesson. Think about the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip with Carolyn Manzo and Brandi Glanville, like a whole series that we'll never get to see because, I mean, this is obviously like a very different situation, but I just keep going back to there's nothing Andrew could ever do besides hurt my child that would make me do that in front of my child. Does that make sense? And even then, I would fucking never. I would never. It is so heartbreaking. Now the ex-husband who's been sitting on this for 3 years, which is also really mentally ill because that's like vindictive on a different level. Like, I'm going to sit on this until you're about to have your big break, and then I'm going to fucking destroy you and take your kid away from you, which is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But here we are. It's gross, and I'm done talking about it now. Let's talk about something that is not old news. Speaking of diagnosis, I don't even know how to. It's awkward to talk on a podcast about a video that people may or may not have seen, but I'm just going to give you kind of the lay of the land. My favorite person on the internet is Melissa Wood-Tepperberg. She's Melissa Wood Health. There's a lot of deep breathing. There's a lot of sunglasses. There's a lot of shoulder pads. Her hair is gorgeous. She's married to like this restaurateur in New York, and she is the face of toxic positivity, and we love her for it, by the way. She is maybe the greatest star of our time, and she doesn't even really know it, okay? She's pushing a lot of I can't even say it. My throat closes up. A lot of like high vibrations, a lot of good vibes only, a lot of just like jazz hands and abdomens and like all the things and careless little giggles and green juice. And I'm obsessed with it. And I want to just address the very convenient, cerebrally inferior narrative digital internet trope that like anyone who talks shit about other people on the internet are miserable. I hate to say it because it's too real. I'm like not even close to being miserable. I'm having the best time of my life. I'm just operating my personal Instagram account just as such. I don't care if I had 3 people following me or 3 million people following me. I use the internet as myself because I'm not a content creator. I'm just a dumb bitch with a microphone and a glimmer behind the eyes. I'm blinking. I'm tapped into the universe. If I think something's stupid, I'm going to kind of make fun of it. Does it make me a bitch? Yes. But does it also make me authentic? Yes. Does it make me miserable? Not even close. Like, I'd wear it so honestly. Sometimes I cosplay being more miserable than I actually am because I think that it helps with relatability. But if I'm being super honest, I'm completely content. I have a gorgeous life. And that's just the truth. I'm not chasing a dream. I have no hustle, hustle pressure. I'm not trying to kill the day. I'm not trying to rise and grind. I'm trying to do exactly the same thing every single day in my house with my husband and my child and my family and my friends. And I don't want to change a damn thing. Like, deeply content, too content, some might say, like happy as ever. With that said, when I think something is stupid and funny, I like to talk about it. And could I reserve it for a private group chat? I could. But what fun would that be? Okay? Like, you want to talk about community and camaraderie? I'm being a bitch on all platforms all the time, despite any social ramifications. And believe me, there are plenty. Do you know how many DMs I get from people that I'm talking shit about? And I always say the following. Melissa Wood-Tepperberg has DM'd me a couple times, okay? And she does like the crying laughing face or prayer hands. It's happened multiple times. I've gotten them from Maddie Prue. I've gotten them from Olivia Culpo. I've gotten them from the Huffs, okay? And you know what I always say? Sorry, I'm a bitch. You're gorgeous. This is hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really not that deep. And we're also self-important, especially on the internet, when you have like lots of people, lots of strangers kind of just endorsing your every move. You get a little blinded by the lights, okay? So I dish it. I can take it. I'll never forget. This was years ago. I used to work at Chelsea Lately. I was a PA. And then I worked at After Lately for a while. So, but I was like very under the radar. I wasn't like, I'm funny. I was like, stay quiet, like refill the fridge and shut the fuck up. Because I just was very aware how annoying it would be for me to like come in hot and be like, can I pitch some jokes? Like, I just needed to like keep my paycheck. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to like intercede anything. And I didn't want to be a threat, which is a bit narcissistic to think I even would be at that time. But I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to overstep, you know? I knew that I was a PA and I was there to like write notes with my impeccable handwriting, refill the fridge, do Costco runs, and take the dog out and deliver the mail. And that's what I did. And I didn't do a bang up job, if I'm being totally honest. But I knew all the comedians on the show. I laid low, wasn't popping off the pages of life, okay? Cut to, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I remember someone sent me a clip of Chris Frangiola, who was a comedian on Chelsea Lately and now a podcaster. And he said something about, he was talking shit about, well, me specifically on his podcast, saying something like, oh, I listen to these girls on these podcasts and, you know, Jackie Schimmel on the Bitch Bible complaining about her Chanel shoes. First of all, I never discussed that, but second of all, you know, Chanel shoes, and we're not talking just the basic ballet flats, but a leather Chanel shoe, high ticket item, a boot or a loafer perhaps, they do hurt. The leather is stiff and you do need to work them in. So even though I hadn't said it at the time, write that down. Sharky's doesn't have Pico de Gallo, and Chanel leather goods need to be broken in. I'd also like to once again remind you that it is 22 minutes and I have not taken a breath. Thank you so much. Let me have a sip of water. So he said that, and I kind of thought it was funny because I was like, listen, I mean, I don't actually qualify, and that's not the right word. I don't classify myself as a complainer. I think I like to bitch and vent and scream about very minuscule things that don't personally affect me, but I don't really ever complain. There's going to be a B-roll, an audio reel of me complaining about everything. I'm really not a complainer. I'm kind of like a get over it person. You know what I mean? My limbs could be falling off. I could be like crawling with one arm and I'd be like, it's fine. Get over it. Grow up. Like, I'm not really a complainer. And I think anyone that like knows me well would co-sign on that. I'm like the opposite of a complainer. I deny my own complaints and everybody else's because I'm just here, like, I'm just trying to have a good time. So I don't like buzzkill energy. But I was at a restaurant and I had heard that Chris Frangiola said that. And of course I DM'd him and I said, my feet do really hurt. I got a new pair of Chanel loafers that I got in Paris that I flew to myself and then bought my own Chanel loafers because I have a very successful podcast. And actually they really do hurt my feet. And then I saw him at a restaurant. And of course, you know me, I can't control myself. I was with my grandma Gloria and my best friend Virginia. And I was like, Chris, hi, how are you? I'm like holding up my foot. I'm like, my feet hurt. It was so funny. And we just like had a laugh and got over it because like, who fucking cares? If that's the worst thing that somebody says about me, I'm going to do cartwheels in the fucking grass with my Chanel loafers. And also, you know, I'm a very successful podcaster and like, yeah, that's all. I was going to say something really cunty. But yeah, I do have a lot of Chanel shoes and they're pretty expensive and I bought them all myself. And usually I buy them in Paris, which I fly to business class and I pay retail for everything myself because I have had a podcast for 14 years. Okay, sorry, we're back. What I would do to go back and just like delete the last 6.5 minutes of this episode. You know, the whole precursor of the Bitch Bible being without edits is not because I stand on some hollow platform of superiority and like fucklessness. Like I would love to go back and slice and dice just a bit. The truth is that rule kind of started on the basis of me not knowing how to edit. Like I have to just press one button. Okay. It's the return button and it's a start and it's a stop. And we just don't know how to go back. And I'm also so untimely with these episodes that there's not a lot of wiggle room for post-production. So I'm able to get away with turning in my episodes late for 14 years because all they have to do is essentially drag and drop and upload because I'm not overly parsing my words. But, you know, like just forgive me and let's just move on. Like very distasteful, very tacky, and that's just Jackie. Okay, so I want to dive back into the Melissa Wood-Tepperberg. And if I'm repeating myself, just forgive me because I recorded this over the course of 4 days. I started on Friday, then I had a nice weekend, then I had to pick it up on Monday, whatever. So Melissa Wood-Tepperberg, my North Star, posts this video, okay? And the subtext of this reel, this Instagram reel, is that she was diagnosed with like terminal cancer, okay? The vibes are heavy. The language is tone deaf, doesn't even begin to cut it. And she shares with her community, sorry. Oh, God, it started to come up. She shares with her community that she was recently diagnosed with ADD and she's felt lost her whole life. And when she heard the doctor, which she naturally had her camera ready to go to record the diagnosis, that everything made sense. And then she also casually throws her child in under the bus, being like, you know, once my kid got a diagnosis, it really like set in focus my own personal deficiencies. And then I met with a doctor, and after hearing the words ADD, I was finally able to sit with my reality. And the drama and the B-roll shots are so unbelievable. We get not one, but 2 bikini shots because that seems relevant to an ADD diagnosis. Then she goes into this monologue about how growing up, she never knew anybody with ADD. And she's just this brave attention deficit disorder warrior. And I'm sorry, okay? I'm going to be 36 years old. Everyone I knew and their gay brother had a Ritalin prescription, okay? ADD was, I don't want to generalize, but a fairly common diagnosis, okay? One that we use pretty casually. And it is the best thing I've ever seen. She's in a sauna. She's looking out on her terrace and, you know, in New York. She's deep breathing. She's crying in a Zoom call with her doctor diagnosing her. It is high level camp. This is objectively ridiculous. Okay. And if my friend did this, I would call her up and I would say, honey, what the fuck are you doing? We need to do a temperature check. Okay. We need to go outside and we need to touch grass. Other things to discuss. Okay. Some trends I'm hating on the internet right now. Reasons why you wouldn't want to be my friend. Okay, everybody's doing this on TikTok. Reasons why you wouldn't want to be my friend. I'm brutally honest, okay? And sometimes I'm going to tell you the harsh truth that you're not going to want to hear. No, you're not. Like, I know that you're not that person. That is my favorite shtick of all time. Reasons why you probably wouldn't want to be my friend. I'm no bullshit. Like, if you ask me if your outfit looks good and it doesn't, I'm going to tell you. That's like... It's a sub branch of the pick me girl. Here's why you wouldn't want to be my friend. Okay. You would, because I'm an amazing friend. That's my version of that. Reasons why you wouldn't want to be my friend. I'm ride or die. I'm loyal to a fault. So if you tell me something, it stops and ends with me. Like, no, you're taking a trend and you're putting it in a blender and you're mixing it up, and then you're reserving the same ingredients to us and trying to make it seem self-deprecating, but really you're just complimenting yourself. And do you think that I'm not smart enough to know what the fuck's going on? Okay, I speak for all of us. Do you think we don't know what you're doing? You know what I hate? You know what I hate? I hate a mispackaged, self-important narrative, okay, as one who will go on for hours about how much I love myself, okay, but I come by it honestly. I'm not repackaging it. You know exactly what you're getting. Secondly, I hate like a subtle flex. Like, okay, I know it's crazy, but I did a thing, and believe me, I'm not bragging. I have so many Chanel, but like, I hate when something is presented to us in a fraudulent gift wrapping situation, and then the person delivering the message is insulting our intelligence and our digestibility, our digital digestibility. Like, we don't know what's going on, but we know what's going on. So just name it. Just name them. Name the puppy. Keep it 100. Okay. Let's have an honest transaction. Okay. If you're going to hit us with an ADD diagnosis, like, by the way, riddle me this. What is Melissa Wood-Tepperberg going to do if she got an STD? Can you imagine what that reel would look like? An ADD diagnosis? The fact that, I just have to revisit this one more time. The fact that she's exploiting her child's diagnosis, and I mean this lovingly, because I know there's going to be a point in time where I'm in a room with fucking Melissa Wood-Tepperberg. And what am I going to do? I'm going to say, sorry. Sorry. What did I say when she DM'd me the last time? I'm like, listen, you're gorgeous, you're rich, you've got abs. Like, this is all pretty stupid, no? Right? Like, I can take it pretty well. I get terrible messages, and it's all funny. It's par for the course, by the way. If you're going to set up a tripod and you're going to weep into a Zoom call and hit us with like some tranquil music and stare, you know what I find to be interesting? When people do these B-roll shots, this is the mechanics behind it. You have to put a tripod out. You have to lodge your phone in there. You have to press hands free. Then you have to go sit, make sure you're in frame, cozy up in a robe or a tunic or wherever you are and whatever you're wearing. And then you have to look off into the distance for 30 seconds. Deep inhale, in, exhale, a smug grin, look off into the distance the other way. Deep inhale. And then you have to scurry over to the tripod, hit end record, unlodge your phone, review the footage, hit it. It's a lot of legwork, quite frankly. Okay, another thing that I want to talk about. We're just like really all over the place. We're really all over the place. Did anyone else see that video of Kelly Bensimon at Target just pushing her dog around to like a cover of Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls? Just check it out. It's worth viewing. With like a very weird caption. God, I love her so much. I watched the most recent episode of Love Story. You guys, I have notes. First of all, Sarah Pigeon is perfect. Okay. She's really carrying the show. The last episode took place in their apartment. It was the only background it was the only setting of the whole episode, which I don't really love. It works if like, you know, if you're Brendan Fraser in The Whale, okay, and we're never leaving that apartment and the performance is so gripping and like disturbing and like, yeah, maybe that works. But for Love Story, I think we have to all acknowledge that while we are all watching it and we love it, it's a terrible show. Like through and through, it's fucking terrible. The guy that played JFK Jr., bless him, gorgeous, aesthetically perfect casting. Okay. I mean, just unbelievable. But when he is delivering his lines in this most recent episode, Andrew and I looked at each other and I was like, this is camp. This is hilarious. It is so bad. It is so soft. It is so weak. I literally think I could do a better job. Okay. Hardly the thespian of the year. And I don't know if Sarah Pigeon is as great of an actress as she appears, but she needs to send him an edible arrangement basket because she is so outperforming him. And the juxtaposition of the two of them is so alarming and hard to watch. It's painful almost. Like, it's actually painful. I think the last episode is this week. And I'm kind of ready for it to be over. Like the first couple episodes, fun, pretty hair, cute, New York, 90s vibes. Now we've taken a deep, deep dive. Like the plot line is regurgitative. We've been through this plot line. We get it. She doesn't want to be famous. He likes the lights. They're having we understand what's going on between them as a couple. At least give us some flash and cash and outfits. You know what I mean? Give us some sex, for fuck's sake. Like, give us something. Seeing him like a whiny little bitch underperforming is not what I need to see from my Ryan Murphy shows. We need to crank the octave a little bit. It's painful. And I think we all just need to look at each other because we're so desperate for something to look forward to. But we all have to just check in with each other and acknowledge the fact that this show is terrible. Oh my God, another thing I want to talk shit about. Chappell Rowan. We've discussed Chappell Rowan at length on this podcast, but I'd like to revisit it again. So she was in, I'm going to get all the details of this story wrong, so just bear with me. Pop culture news with Jackie. I'm on the forefront of journalism over here. I like listen to a couple TikToks and then I piece it together and I give it my own little flair. Okay, so Chappell Rowan was recently, I think, in Brazil. Allegedly, she was in Brazil. Maybe it was Singapore. Maybe it was Brazil. We don't know. We don't care. Semantics. So she's staying at this hotel and she was performing the night before, or she was performing somewhere along this time. They don't make them like me anymore. Barbara Walters, I'm coming for your gig. Oh my God. Do you remember when Barbara Walters died on my gender reveal party night? And Raymond Padilla, what was this, like 3 years ago, over 3 years ago? So I brought a drag queen in to like reveal the gender of Clyde. And everyone's drinking and partying and it was fun, whatever. And my dear friend Raymond Padilla, as he was leaving, he gave me a hug and he said, "Congratulations, Barbara Walters died. Goodbye." And then just left my house. And I was like, wow, that's a star right there. Not to make, okay, I don't really know how I got here. So Chappell Rowan, she's at a hotel. She comes down for breakfast. She's eating in the courtyard area. I guess, I'm going to do a quick Google search because I'm really going to fuck this up. A mother and daughter staying at the very same hotel, having breakfast. They see her walk by and they say, "Oh my God, is that Chappell Rowan?" I guess they were in town for the concert, this, that, the other thing. Okay. Oh my God, Jude Law? Wait. Oh my God, I totally got this wrong. I didn't know it was Jude Law. Wait, I should have gone with my version of the story. Okay. I thought that this was like the president of Brazil's wife. That's what I was about to say. I thought it was like some dignitary or something, because that's why Chappell Rowan isn't allowed to perform in Brazil anymore. Whoa. Okay. I know I'm getting all of these details. I'm definitely like mashing up. This is a remix. This is journalism remix. Okay. I'm definitely mixing up like 15 stories. Okay. So this makes it so much more exciting. So Jude. Oh, no. Wait, Frello? Who's Frello? Is Frello Brazilian soccer star? Okay, we're back. Okay, so listen to this. This mother and daughter. The daughter happens to be Jude Law's daughter, okay? And Jude Law's ex-wife, who is now married to Jorginho Frello, okay? Who is a Brazilian soccer star. They're staying at this hotel. And this 11-year-old girl, Jude Law's daughter, sees Chappell Rowan walk by and go sit publicly at the hotel restaurant eating her breakfast. And her and the mom are like, "Oh, is that Chappell Rowan? I can't really tell. You know, she's not dressed up in her garb. Like, it looks exactly like her." Allegedly, they were in town to see the Chappell Rowan concert. And the daughter, who's 11 years old, whose father is Jude fucking Law. Okay, so she's well-versed in celebrity, privacy, boundaries, respectability, all the things. I guess she gets up, doesn't have her phone, doesn't take a picture, doesn't go up to Chappell Rowan, and kind of just takes a little look-see-loo to see if it's Chappell Rowan, comes back to the table and says, "Oh, I think it's Chappell Rowan." few minutes later, the security guard comes over very aggressively, is getting into the mom and this 11-year-old's face, being like, you need to teach your child some manners. Kind of like chastising them aggressively. And the woman was like, she didn't take a picture. She just wanted to see, we're staying at this hotel. And the truth is, if Chapel Rowan didn't want to even be looked at, if didn't even want eye contact, there's this little thing called room service, bitch, and you order it up to your room and you sit in your filth and you eat your pancakes in solitude. Now, if this was a one-off incident, we could probably be like, ugh, maybe the security guard was a dick. Also, Chapel Rowan went online and basically was like, this is not my personal security guard. I never instructed him to go over there. This kind of doesn't even matter at this point because Chapel Rowan is so consistently, like, in my personal opinion, like, disgraceful for the industry that has celebrated her so much. And if she didn't, and people hate when I say this, but like, she knew what she was getting into. If she wanted to stay and be like a weird theater performer, then she could have done that. But when you want to play with the big dogs, woof woof, you have to at least pretend to be gracious about the consequences of being famous. You don't have to go to Paris Fashion Week, okay? And if you do, and you're harassing the photographers, do you know how much time you spent harassing the fans, the photographers? Like, I know famous people. I know how they get around. You don't have to go in through the fucking front door. You can exist very privately. Here's a hot tip, Chapel Rowan. And it was like, she should be allowed to express herself. Sure. I'm all about it. Hi, I'm screaming into a microphone. I fucking understand. Put the face paint down. You don't need to be in a leather corset. Like, lay low. Go in the back. There's pros and there's cons. If you're not into it, if you don't like the Grammy Awards and you don't want to win awards, then why are you showing up with your tits out? Why are you screaming at photographers? Don't walk the red carpet. This is very simple. Obstacles, solutions. If all you're doing is complaining about all the intricacies of fame and fortune, then tap the fuck out, Chapel Rowan. You don't seem to mind. With the pyrotechnics in the performance and your nipples out and the face paint and, the applause of it all. Why are you so pissed off? At least have the decency to keep it to yourself. Get a journal and shut the fuck up and performatively be gracious. Or you know what? Go move to buttfuck nowhere and do local theater. If you don't care about the awards, you don't care about this, you don't care about that. Okay. Well, then tap out, girl. Pass the baton. Shut up. So, it's just such consistent behavior. It's so ungracious. It's so old. It's so boring. It's so disgruntled and unappreciative. And it's lacking any form of gratitude. The way that she screams at photographers on a red carpet, I'm sorry, get out of here. Don't walk it. You know how many people don't walk a red carpet? Do you know how many people go to Paris Fashion Week and go through the back door and wear a baseball cap or whatever? If you're so uncomfortable with it, don't do it. This is a lesson we can apply to all of our lives, okay? There's nothing worse than someone who endlessly complains and then doesn't do anything to shift it. Shift it or shut the fuck up. That's the life lesson here. Chapel Rowan, write it down, okay? I'm over it. I'm done with it. It's annoying and it's rude. You know what I'm going to do today? Because Andrew's leaving for another trip soon and I just want to spice things up. My friend taught me this, and I think it's a really, really great thing to do to just keep the marriage alive, keep it spicy. And if you're just looking to subtly fuck up your husband's day and what was I going to say? Language is hard for me today. It is Monday. I slept so good last night. I doubled up on my magnesium and I went to outer space. I had 24 dreams. Okay. And they were wild. I had like a vacation home in Charleston, and all of my beds had like upholstered awnings and like really wild floral fabrics, which makes me want to do that in a guest room. Like I had this one bedroom in my Charleston beach house that was like yellow florals. Okay. Floor to ceiling with a matching fabric, and the bed was like a 4-poster, like awninged, like it had like an awning, like a drapery, and it was so wild. And that bed was like halfway up to the room, and I had to like climb on a ladder to get on the bed. And it was just, and then I had this, and I had a TV like embedded in the wallpaper. And everything was yellow. And then I went down this spiral staircase because I had like a game room in the house. And it was this beautiful, like wrought iron and unlacquered brass stairwell. And it was upholstered with this carpet that was like Scalamander tiger and like purple, like Versace Medusa with turquoise. You guys, I don't know if like I did drugs last night, but it was popping off the pages of life. Anyways, back to my little tip and a trick for husband torture 101. Cue Sugar Storm by Trent Reznor, which came up on Shuffle, which is kind of what inspired me. That's the theme song to Gone Girl. What a great movie. Didn't I read the book? Of course not. You know what I am reading, though? It's Strangers, that Memoirs of a Marriage. It's a little bit of a slow burn for me. Like, I don't like... Everyone's reading it. All my friends made me read it. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll read a book. Do you know how many of my friends like buy me books and they're like, Jackie, you need to read something. And I'm like, why can't you sluts start watching Real Housewives so we have more table topics? I think they're trying to like make me smarter because I'm kind of like the dumb one in my friend group. I'm like the unread. Like I'm not I would say I'm like the uneducated one, if that makes sense. So they're always trying to get me to read these fucking books. So I was like, okay. And she's like, are you going to read it? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, I'm going to ask you questions about it. I'm like, what is this? What are we in fucking English class? What is this, literature 101? Like, I didn't go to college. Now you're making me fucking read. But I started reading it, and okay, like I'm getting it. I'm hoping it picks up. But I hate like a woman looking for red flags. Like I can sniff out a red flag 50 years into the future, 700 miles away. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm also on a rewatch of the Rachel Zoe Project because it just launched on Peacock, and I'm like looking for nostalgia, go figure. And I started rewatching it. And Roger, first of all, I mean, those, like, we can't trust a man with that haircut and an infinity scarf. I could have told you that. And I feel like we really romanticized Roger and Rachel Zoe as a couple. But when you really review the footage, he feels extremely insecure, non-supportive. Like season 2, season 3, he starts like watching football with the bros and like performatively drinking beer while she's watching the red carpet, and like kind of isn't celebrating her, and is kind of moaning over Paris Fashion Week with his infinity scarf and his stupid fucking haircut. You want to talk about a red flag? That stupid fucking haircut. And he has the nerve to pull tricks on Rachel Zoe, okay? Media mogul. You can't sneeze at a Home Goods without hitting a Rachel Zoe licensed product, okay? Roger, you should be so lucky, okay? You fucking bullhead rat bitch. You're a bullheaded bitch. Bullhead bitch with those side bangs. Get the fuck out of here. I will slice and dice him into next week. Get ready. Hashimo say we're going to Benihana, Roger. Loser. What a fucking loser. I hate this shit. She was so nice to him. And he's a bitch ass. And then he like took over Rachel Zoe Inc. and became like the CFO, which, you know, just killed him. And I kind of think if we remember season 2, season 3, Rachel Zoe Project, we're talking something like 15 years ago. Rachel Zoe and Taylor, her associate, like her right-hand woman, okay? They have this huge falling out, and Roger comes in and fires her and then tells Rachel, who like had such a love and affinity for Taylor, that she was like, mishandling funds and taking samples. I don't believe any of that. I think Roger poisoned the well. I think Roger wanted control and he poisoned the well. Okay, because he wanted to have his little fucking wormy fingers in the business. And he wanted to eliminate anyone that would, I don't know, combat his authority. That's what I think happened. You want to talk about a red flag? Watch it. Watch it and knowing what we know now, okay, through clear optics. What was I saying? I'm reading a book. Oh, wait, no, I'm landing the plane. Okay, fun tips and tricks for your husband. So you're going to get a cup of water, cue Sugar Storm, and you're just going to dump water anywhere. I think the laundry room is a great place to start, or anywhere where there's possible plumbing. If you have underground plumbing, just like in the middle of a hallway, in a bedroom, or like maybe if you have an in-home office, maybe it's your husband's office, in the middle of his office. And then you're going to get your husband and you're going to say, for instance, I'm going to do this later tonight. I'm going to have a martini and just like have a gay old time. I'm going to be like, Andrew, come here right now, because we've had like a lot of water damage in the house and I think it'll give him PTSD. He'll be like nervous. He'll be unsettled. He'll be making calls. It'll be so fun. I'm saying, hey, Andrew, there's water in the middle of the hallway. What the fuck? And he's going to be like, what do you mean? I'm going to look. He's like, did you spill? No. Did Clyde spill? No. There's just fucking water. Is it coming from the ceiling? Is it coming from the ground? Like, didn't we shut off all the plumbing? Isn't all the plumbing coming from the ceiling now? Where is this water coming from? Like, you need to call someone. We need to get a plumber in. And then just have like an unresolved kind of lingering trauma in the home. He'll never sleep. Take that with you on your journey, everybody. What a great time I've had today. I have to go do another podcast. Love you so much. Goodbye. Have a great week.